What's up, guys? Welcome back to the CoachALFutrell YouTube page. Now, before we get into today's video, I want you guys to check this out right here. Still, over 98% of you guys who come over to this channel and gather all this valuable content that I drop on a regular basis, over 98% of you are not subscribed to the channel. So before we get into this video, I need you to do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to share this with a friend or a family member who you think will find value in this video. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the 10 things that I would do immediately to help change the trajectory of my health and fitness if I were you. Number one, stop smoking. Okay, look, we already know that smoking is linked to various forms of cancer, lung cancer, throat cancer, etc. So that's the very first thing that I would do if I were a smoker. I would stop smoking. Number two, reduce or eliminate the amount of sweets and treats that you're eating. So I'm talking about cookies, cakes, donuts, candy, muffins, all those things that are very high in added sugar. At the end of the day, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a lot of carbohydrates and or fats from those foods. And by default, you're going to get a lot of calories. It's not going to be satiating. So you're not going to feel like you're full from eating that food, but you're going to take on all the calories and still be hungry and prone to eat something else later on. So now you are getting an influx of calories because you are choosing to consume these high added sugar foods that are very rich in carbohydrates and or fats, and by default giving you too many calories, okay? The third thing that I would do if I were you, I would cut out fast food. So very similar to the sweets and treats, fast food, what you typically end up getting is a lot of calories for a little amount of food. So again, it's probably not going to be filling. You might get some protein depending on if you're eating a protein source based fast food option. So yeah, you'll get some protein more than likely, but you're also going to get a high amount of carbs and a high amount of fats. And then once we tally that all up, you're just getting too many calories as a whole, and it's probably not going to be filling. By the time you get that combo meal, you mess around and get a sandwich. The sandwich is 500, 600, 700 calories. Then you get a side, you got some fries. That's another 400, 500, 600 calories. Now you got a pop. That's another 200, 300, 400 calories. And then we factor in the condiments and then probably some dessert on top of that. And now you guys just have way too many calories. So you have an influx of calories from eating the fast food as well. Number four, I would stop doing drugs. I'm talking about coke, meth, lean, Molly, perks, all those things. Like, we don't even have to get into it. If you think those things are helping your health, you are only fooling yourself. So that would be the fourth thing that I would do. I would stop doing drugs. Number five, I would focus on getting better sleep. And I know you always hear that and people just say, well, just go to bed earlier. That'll help you get better sleep. No, I'm talking about the preparation to help you get better sleep. So maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours before bed, I would make sure that I am getting off of the screens. So I'm putting the phones down. I'm getting off of the iPad. I'm getting off of the laptop. I'm not watching TV. I'm starting to tell my brain, hey, look, it's time for us to disassociate away from this shit for the rest of the night so we can get some quality sleep. And then I would make sure that my room is dark. So I would black the room out. And then I would make sure that the room is cool too. So you want that temperature low. So that would be the fifth thing that I would do. I would make sure that I'm getting some quality sleep by making sure that I am preparing to get better sleep. The sixth thing that I would do, I would implement structured cardio. So I'm talking at least 1 to 2 times a week, I would be doing what we call base training. So zone 1 and zone 2 work. This will be 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. And again, I would be doing this 1 to 2 times per week, bare minimum 30 minutes per session, up to maybe an hour per session. And again, I would focus on 60 to 70% of my max heart rate doing zone 1 and zone 2 work, aerobic base conditioning. Now, the other two zones that I would train in would be zone 3 and zone 4 work, which would be anaerobic threshold training. And I would do 20 to 30 minutes of zone 3 work 1 to 2 times per week. And then at least one time per week, I would do zone 4 training at about 80 to 90% of my max heart rate. Now, I'm not talking about for the entire duration. I'm talking about for the duration of the work, the interval itself, I would accumulate maybe 10 minutes worth of work of zone 4 work. Same thing goes for the zone 3. So when I'm saying 20 to 30 minutes of zone 3 work, I'm talking about if I were doing 3-minute intervals inside of zone 3, maybe I do 3 minutes inside of zone 3, and then I spend 2 minutes to let my heart rate come back down before I ramp it up again. So the actual duration of the session would be longer, but I'm talking about the total duration spent inside of the zone. I would do 20 to 30 minutes of zone 3 work, and then probably 10 to 20 minutes of zone 4 work. Zone 3 work 1 to 2 times per week. Zone 4 work at least once per week. The seventh thing that I would do to change my health immediately, I would start strength training. And I would want to make sure that my program is built and based around foundational movement patterns. So we're talking about pressing, pulling, hinging, lunging, squats, carries, and rotation. And then I would make sure that I am training with purpose. So I'm not just going into the gym, grabbing light weights, and then doing a bunch of reps. You want to make sure that the training is challenging. So you are putting a challenge on the muscle and creating that stimulus for the body, for the muscle to change each and every time you come to the gym. You can't just keep showing up, doing the same thing over and over and over, and then expecting to get great results from that. You actually have to put forth that effort to cause the change to happen. So that would be number 7. The 8th thing that I would do if I were looking to get in shape fast, I'm talking about changing not only my aesthetic, how I look from the outside, I'm also talking about from the inside, my internal health. So the 8th thing that I would do if I were you, I would go and get blood work done. Too many people skip over this. You not knowing where your internal health is, that is a major red flag. How are you going to change what you do not know? So you guys need to go to the doctor, get your lipid panels done, at least do that. That's like the base that you can do. The same things they do when you go and get a physical done, go and get your blood work done so you have some baseline markers. And then that way we can identify if something is wrong with you. And then you can start taking the proper supplementation to fix those issues that you have. Okay, so number 8, go and get that blood work done. The 9th thing that I would do, and I don't even know why this is controversial, but it is. The 9th thing that I would do, stop drinking alcohol. Now, before we get into this, there's always going to be somebody who says, well, I know a guy or a girl and they drink all the time and they're in good shape. Or I know a guy or a girl and they drink all the time and they live to be 90, 95, or 100 years old. What you are speaking about in those cases, you are speaking about the exception. You are not speaking about the norm. Looking at it from that standpoint, you guys are lost, okay? Again, you are looking at the exception. You are not looking at the norm. When you drink alcohol, there is no net positive. There is nothing positive coming from it. People like to lean on these anecdotal experiences and say, well, when I drink, it makes me feel more social. Okay, you're a social drinker. That's not a net positive. What that is a crutch that you're leaning on. You need to drink the alcohol to make yourself feel like, okay, now I can be social inside of this event, right? Or you say, oh, it makes me feel happy. Again, that is not a net positive. You are speaking about a psychological experience. You're speaking about a feeling that you get from the alcohol. That is not a health positive. It's not like, oh, I drank the alcohol and it made my kidneys function better, or it made my lungs function better, or it made my brain function better, or it made my fat burning better, or it's making me grow muscle. When we're talking about net positives, we're talking about when you do something, is there a positive outcome for your health? Not your anecdotal experience saying, well, I drank the alcohol and it made me feel this way, or I know someone that drank alcohol and they lived to be 90, 95, or 100 years old. Those are not net positives. Again, you are speaking about the exceptions versus the norms. You are not recognizing the difference between a net positive from a health perspective and a net positive that's just going on in your brain that is not actually helping you become healthy. Okay, so that would be the ninth thing that I would do. I would stay away from drinking. And I go into this across many of my other platforms, explaining why alcohol is so bad for you and why there are no net positives. But I'm not going to get into that today. That would make this video way too long, much longer than I intended it to be. Okay. But that's number 9. Put the fucking alcohol down. Number 10, and this one people love to do. The 10th thing that I would do to improve my health as fast as I could, I would stop looking for shortcuts. People love to look for shortcuts. It's always like, what's the next supplement I can take? What's the best exercise I can do? What's the best form of cardio I can do? What's the superfood I can start including inside of my diet? The problem is when you start looking for shortcuts, basically what you start doing is you start looking for things to do and to implement into your routine that you're not going to be able to sustain over a long period of time. So what happens is you're going to dabble in it for a little bit and then you're going to stop because it's not sustainable. So stop looking for quick fixes. Stop looking for these little hacks where you feel like, oh, it's April 1st. I need to be in the best shape of my life by May 1st. So let me start doing a bunch of shit that I cannot maintain over the long haul. And basically, you're just going to run yourself into the ground. So stop looking for shortcuts. Hopefully, this helps someone. And if it didn't help you, share it with someone that you think it could help. And again, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you share the video with someone that you feel might gain value from the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. You guys come over here. I'm getting thousands upon thousands of views across all the different exercise tutorials that I put out, the nutrition information that I put out, the information on life in general that I put out, the information about how to start and run a fitness business. So all these things are getting thousands and thousands of likes, but yet and still you guys aren't subscribing to the channel. So just go ahead and subscribe, man or girl. It's not going to hurt you, okay? All that's going to do, it's going to help get this message to other people inside of the YouTube community because it's going to start being pushed through the algorithm. So do me that favor, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you sign up for my Skool program, which is free. You can find the link in the description of this video. Make sure you guys sign up for Skool because what I put over on Skool, you're not going to find it on TikTok. You're not going to find it on my Instagram accounts. You're not going to find it on my Snapchat account. You're not going to find it on my Twitter account. You're not going to find it here on YouTube. So when you sign up for my Skool program, what you will get is access to more content. You're going to get access to courses. You're going to get access to workouts, things that I've built for the community that can help you in the long run. So make sure you get over to my Skool platform. Again, you guys will find the link inside of the description for this video to sign up for Skool. And again, I hate to beat a dead horse. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Make sure you share. Help your boy out. All right. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.